Above all else, we're committed to the care and improvement of human life. In recognition of this commitment, we strive to provide quality, cost-effective health care in the communities that we serve.
Well, it plays out every time a patient walks through our door.
My name is Tia Bainey, and I work in the cath lab, and my team and I strive for excellence always.
We have many ways here at Denton Regional that we measure quality. We look at our door-to-balloon times. We have meetings about the quality of our care and about how we took care of the last acute MI.
We oftentimes get caught up in the metrics of the hospital and all the many different ways that we measure our success. And it's comforting to see each day how those successes play out.
The most awesome way that I see that quality every single day is by seeing the relief on the families' faces, seeing the patients that feel better.
Everything from how long it takes us to greet patients when they come in the ER, to how long it takes for a lab test to be turned around, to, in Tommy's case, how long it takes for us to get him back to the cath lab and cared for from when he comes into the hospital.
Well, Tommy Nelson is the pastor at Denton Bible Church, and I'm a member there and have been since about 1992.
One morning, Tommy was at his church in his office, and he started having chest pain.
And all of a sudden, I could feel an arrhythmia. Something wasn't right.
He had told the office staff that he was just going to go lay down. Well, Carissa wasn't comfortable with that, came and got me on stage because she knew I was there working with the choir kids, and came and got me on the stage and said, Dave said, would you mind coming to check out Tommy? He's not feeling well and he just doesn't look right to me.
And it just turned out that one of the captains for the Denton Fire Department was right here.
You know, and I flip on the lights and looked at him and I knew immediately he was in trouble. And I got down beside him. I said, Tommy, I said, you're having an MI. I said, you're having a myocardial infarction. You're having a heart attack.
And I didn't know what that was, but it sounded bad. Anytime you're infarcted by anything, that's got to be bad.
911 was called. They had a very quick response.
So a lot of prayers were going up.
There were thousands of people praying for him within minutes.
What we strive for is education of the public to call 911. Once they start to feel that chest pain, we want them to dial 911. What happens then is that EMS is able to respond, they're able to do an EKG, and they're able to determine if the person is having a heart attack. If they are having a heart attack, that means immediate activation of the cath lab.
Right there in somebody's home or their business or on the side of the highway, as the case may be, we can hook up the EKG. We can do a 3-lead, we can do a 12-lead.
We have systems in place where EMS transmits their EKG now to us, so we can actually show the physician, we can show the cardiologist the EKG, and we can go ahead and say this is going to be a code STEMI, which that means the patient's going to go straight to the cath lab. Back in the days, we were two separate entities, and today we have a wonderful relationship with EMS where we work together on saving lives.
We can say, hey, we've got an issue, we've got something major coming in. They believe us.
They're the experts out there and they're taking care of the patient. We immediately activate that and we respond.
The hospital knows how we're going to be treating the patient, and we take care of the patient, we bring them in, and the care continues.
So Tommy was able to come through the ER doors and never stop and come straight to the cath lab.
We got there, and I kid you not, there was over 20 people waiting for us.
What we want people to know is that by calling 911, they're able to get here more quickly and more efficiently.
If we hadn't had a 911 system, if there weren't ambulances, if there weren't emergency medical teams, the Tommy Nelson story would have ended. And that's kind of an unnerving feeling. You are all of a sudden in grave recognition of your mortality.
And we got him on the table and we started taking pictures of his heart, and we could see that he had 100% blockage of his LAD, which is the vessel that runs down the front of your heart.
And that was a great comfort to hear a professional say, there it is. Now, let's slip this stent up there and let's get the blood flow going.
A lot of times that has a pretty high fatality rate if you don't get to a hospital soon enough.
They did a stent on me immediately, and it was like I could feel everything start flowing. My heart went.
Prayer is a wonderful thing, and that God's in control, and that due to the ability that we have of prayer and medicine, that combine to allow him to be able to make a full 100% recovery.
I had the right people at the right time.
Everybody that was around him that day really did everything they could and did the right thing to get him here as quick as they did.
There was a ovation that went up when I came out, and of all the people there just to encourage. Don't ever let anyone fool you. One of the greatest things in the world is encouragement.
So he's taking more time to enjoy his family and his grandkids especially.
Grandkids are my ripple into the next generation. They will continue my life. And so, as the Bible says, the glory of grandfathers is their grandsons.
Tommy, before his heart attack, he always talked about how life was short and how one of his favorite places to go over the years was to go to Baskin-Robbins or go to Brahms, have 2 scoops of Rocky Road. After his heart attack, he kind of changed his ways and he said, maybe make that 1 scoop of Rocky Road.
And I remember sitting in the crowd smiling, thinking how awesome he looked and that he's home with his family and that he's still able to preach, and I just think that's great.
Everyone should go through a heart attack. It's a marvelous purgative for your metaphysical being as to what really is important.
Tommy's story is a great example of a team of professionals coming together to change the lives of people in our community.
I'm alive today because of God's grace, because of some concerned friends, and some very efficient, talented medical people that were faithful to their job.
I've worked here at this hospital for 26 years, in the cath lab for 20, and in my mind, we are the best cath lab in the North Texas area.
Chest pain accredited level 4 now. We are a certified stroke center.
What makes this a chest pain level 4 facility for me is coming to work every day and seeing the wonderful way that my team takes care of patients.
The national goal for door-to-balloon time is less than 90 minutes, and our hospital goal is less than 60 minutes, and we're continuously beneath that. And what that means is healthier lives in our community.
The response from the hospital staff, the emergency room, the cath lab, the nurses and the doctors, everybody coming together. There's no doubt in my mind that all those things combined together, saved Tommy's life.
It's tremendously exciting to come to work each day at this hospital.
My whole goal in life is to make a difference wherever I can.
And I continue to come in every single day and give my patients the best care that I possibly can.
I love my job. It's great to be able to know I get to come here every day and do what I get to do.
We spend a lot of time looking at metrics, but the metrics that you can't put on paper are the lives that we save. And Tommy is a great story for that.
So I had the best of care. I would recommend to anybody, when you have a heart attack, go have it at Denton Regional.